So Falcons down to 14, and Finn Smith darting through. Northampton making them pay. Ill-discipline from Newcastle and some quick thinking from the Saints.
I think it's a forward pass. I think it's miles forward, actually, as they break through. Dropping off the tackles, the Falcons now, but for me, this ball goes a long way forward. I've only seen it live, so this will tell us a little bit more angle. It's a nice little set-up play. Ball to the outside, carries through. It's close. I saw it on a different angle.
Yeah.
I think when you see it from the other angle, from behind the posts, it looks at the opposite direction, but his hand comes behind the ball. Yeah, that angle shows his hands behind the ball, so this is the angle I've just seen. Made me think it was a long way forward. You can see probably why I thought that.
Probably.
Or not.
Probably.
Yeah,
maybe.
Probably can. Maybe. Consequentially, maybe you can.
So the sixth of the night for Northampton, and a short spell in the bin for the Falcons flyer.
Block on music.
Born out of frustration, do you think?
Could he finish the regular season as the joint top try scorer with his side finishing bottom?
I'll find out in a second. I will check. When did he go off, Parksy? What time?
Van der Walt has come on for Greg Peterson.
18:02. Thank you. Sorry, mate. 18:02, mate.
So let's have a word with Matt Ferguson, who's the scrum coach for Northampton. Matt, this has been an exemplary performance. You know, the heat was coming on this evening. It was all or nothing, wasn't it?
Yeah, look, we've been really pleased with our physicality and our work rate. That's made our game tick, makes our decisions a lot easier, both with and without the ball. So we're pretty happy with that first 40.
And I mean, goes without saying, you've got to keep your foot on the throat, haven't you?
Yeah, 100%. You know, this is a very dangerous team that can score from everywhere. But ultimately, what we've been striving for all season is an 80-minute performance, and that was the challenge that Lud set the boys.
It's been a really pleasing performance for you this evening in terms of attack, and a few little mishaps in defence. But following this on the bus journey on the way home, do you put the Saracen shirt straight on?
No, mate, mine doesn't fit me, so I'll keep with the same shirt.
Thanks for your time, Matt.
Thanks, mate.
They'll be watching that on Sunday, won't they?
I think they might.
Cheering for Sarries. That would be a rarity for a Saint, won't it?
Well, of course, they can only finish fourth, Northampton, so it will be a short-lived love affair with Mark McCall's men, because they'll be sizing that up as a semi-final opponent if that's the way things transpire. Furbank comes in. Laws, Smith, Collins, steering pace through the hole, options left and right, beautiful pass, and Mitchell will finish. And Northampton are throwing some shapes now.
I've rated Collins for so long. I think he's a brilliant player. He scored a couple tonight, but look at the speed he's at, so much quicker than everyone else. He's almost at full tilt, he's read the hole perfectly. And again, makes that bust. Awareness of support players on either side. That's quite a difficult pass. He's running to the right. He's got to put a long ball across to Mitchell, who wants to stay in the space. And he's delivered the perfect ball.
He spots a match-up early, doesn't he, like Ben says? Spots the match-up, turns on the burners, runs past Tampin, I think, as the prop. Defending there, and then accelerates through. What I really like about it is his angles of his shoulders. So when he gets to the corner here, he sees, it's not Tampin actually, sorry. He goes back past Brocklebank, but look at his shoulders. He knows exactly where he's got to throw the ball. You cannot throw that pass unless you get your right foot on the floor. It's a really difficult ball to throw. Watch his right foot bump off the floor, puts all the power through his leg, then through his hands, and then you can throw the ball 20 metres to your supporting scrum half. He's been very good this season. And he's been a bit of a sort of a bit-time player, hasn't he? He's not been first choice. He's had to come in, but every time he has, he's really performed.
I just wonder if they'll live to regret his departure, because he is a player at this point in his career where he tends to come in and fill in as opposed to find himself a natural starter. But my goodness me, you very rarely see a Northampton Saints team with Tom Collins in where he doesn't perform.
Hiding in the shadows again, on the shoulder of Finn Smith here.
Smith is really beginning to ease into fifth gear now. Rivens goes to ground. This is already the most points that the Falcons have conceded in a Premiership match here at Kingston Park. And it looks like there might just be plenty more to come.
Still 23 minutes to go.
Smith again to Freeman. Falcons clearly at this point clinging on by their fingertips and finding it very hard to stem the flow in any way. No look pass this time from Smith, and they rumble onwards still further. Armchair ride for the number 10. Lovely bit of footwork from Hutchinson. Collins is close again. To the short side, Smith, and onwards they go. In this time through Tom James, and that is not Tom James, that is Sam Graham. Apologies. And 50 is up on 58 minutes. They're pretty much doing what they want right now.
Yeah, it's just the free flowing. They're getting such easy ball with good speed. Collins on the shoulder of Hutchinson, but a lot of numbers there, but no one reacts from a Newcastle perspective. They can't get any line speed at all. So it was about a 5-on-3 in favour of the Falcons, but they aren't able to get forward, and as a result, Lockwood finds himself in the wrong position, gets his head on the wrong side as he tries to make the tackle. He just bumps him off, and he can dive over the line before Carl Ferns makes it over to him.
Graham, the man, one of the two men covering the back row on the bench, on for Augustus, and Finn Smith adding to a hefty tally of his own.
They've got to be careful here, Ali, because their biggest ever defeat is 73 points. There's 20 minutes to go. They keep dropping off tackles. They could break that. There's still a lot of pride to play for. At home, they've already lost that, but their biggest ever defeat, actually, me and Ben played in.
Recollections?
I think I scored 5 or 6, but Benny, I think, won 4 lineouts, 2 knock-ons.
Who's counting?
Me.
I think I got arrested for that game.
Stewart feeds Van der Vaart, and trying to regenerate here somehow or other. Newcastle, they're not going to be helped out by handling like that. And it's all a little unfortunate. It is all unravelling. Adam Brocklebank, the latest to fumble. And with 20 minutes to go, it is looking like a very, very long evening.
Right, there we are then, scrum.
Do Northampton an enormous amount of good as well if they can keep that score down to 5. For we know that that's their weakness in the season. We heard the players in the feature before the game talking about it. But having conceded so early to a wonder try, teams are going to concede that sort of score against that sort of individual brilliance. But to have then not allowed the Falcons over again would be a huge, huge boost to a team that struggled defensively this season.
Mitchell, Hutchinson, Furbank, and a shake of the hips, taking him to within side of the 22 again, just coming onto the ball at such pace now, with such conviction and confidence. Now with a penalty advantage, here's Angus Scott-Young, sprung from the bench. Smith
Just look how little line speed there is from the Falcons, though, because the quality has been so good. They're nervous. There's hesitation from the defensive line, and that's making it even worse because Northampton's got time to lift their heads up, spot where the opportunities are, and they're just under no pressure at all.
It's a difference psychologically when you get to this stage of the season with a side that's got a drive on the way forward, thinking, right, we've got a chance of getting into the knockouts, versus a side who's thinking, okay, I'm playing for pride, performance, a little bit of prestige, but if that goes awry in the first 20 or 30 minutes, you're done for.
So a moment for Alex Tate, retiring
Back to 15 as well.
at the end of this season. Made his debut way back in 2007. This is 270th first team appearance for the Falcons. The third most appearances in the Premiership for a Newcastle player, and at the age of 35 he has really put it in. But he's arriving at a very awkward moment. And I don't think too many Newcastle players are going to remember this evening with much fondness at all. Salakai Losso sets up Northampton again, and the barrage continues at close range. Mitchell fires it on its way. Salakai Lotto driven back this time. Scott Young tries to go through the middle, but Van der Walt is there to meet him. Graham. And the short pop, and the Australian. And he's not too far away.
Big overlap on that right side, but they can't dig the ball out. Huge overlap.
Yeah, 4 men waiting. Queuing up. And there they are. Through Freeman, and the rout continues.
Well, to get to that 5-metre line, the quality of some of the delivery, the speed from the base of Mitchell, really, really good from the Falcons, from the Saints, but again, just not that urgency from the Falcons. No one going forward. The damage was already done by this stage. It was going to be a walk-in that outside channel, nothing Tate could do. He couldn't go any earlier, there weren't any bodies inside him. But they just can't stop the momentum because they can't get any line speed whatsoever.